Hi Abhishek, can you please tell us something about yourself?
Hello, sir. My name is Abhishek Patil, and I'm from from Usmana district, Maharashtra. I
Mhm.
have done my graduation in 2016 from College of Engineering, Pandharpur. So after that, I did a software testing course in Pune. Based on that, I got a job in one of the IT firm in Pune, and from since 3 years, I'm working there as a software automation tester.
Okay. So can you tell me something about the automation framework that you are using and what are your current roles and responsibilities?
Sure. So yeah, I'm a team member in my company in automation testing team. So I'm using tool Selenium WebDriver for the automation framework. So my application in my software or the application which is web based,
Mhm.
for that we are using this WebDriver tool, and in that WebDriver tool we use a data driven testing in for that framework. In
Mhm.
that, data driven testing means we maintain a separate data in a like Excel sheet or .csv file,
Okay.
and whatever the script is written, we are written script using the Java language. So yeah, these are the overall framework about the like tools and technology.
Mhm.
And my role is basically my company has two products like desktop application and also web-based application. So we run or we test the desktop application using manually like human resource. And for the web-based application, we use like a Selenium WebDriver tool. So yeah, for the both application, we run monthly a test cycle with both type for the respective application. Like for desktop, we run manual test cycle, and for the web-based application, we run a Selenium WebDriver tool test cycle for each month. And after successful completion of test cycle, we analyze the result, we analyze the log, and based on that log, whether the script when if script fail, then it is we find out the reason like it is failed due to bug, then we report the bug, we approach the developer, but it is failed due to change in application, then accordingly we change the script and we run the test cycle again, and hence this way we maintain the test cycle and log and the result also.
Mhm.
That's it, sir.
Okay. So how do you trigger this automation?
Sorry, sir, pardon.
Yeah. How do you trigger this automation?
Trigger means what do you mean? I'm not.
Okay. So how do you run this automation? Let's say if this automation has to be executed on some build that is going to be you will be receiving from developer. So how will you
Yeah,
make it run? Yeah.
yeah. So actually, uh, after the completing the code after the freeze the code by the developer,
Mhm.
we got a setup from the developer, and on that setup we install in our local machine like testing machine. And once the setup all installed, we apply all the patches and whatever related to the setup. And after that, we use TestNG in our Selenium framework. In the TestNG, the XML file is there. So with that XML file, the all related test cases are and the classes are written in the TestNG.
Mhm.
So with the help of this right click and run as. So we run all the test cycle and triggered. After that, all the execution will start it automatically.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So let's say if you get this question in an interview, how do you trigger the
Yeah,
automation suite in your organization? So you can
yeah.
tell from a CI/CD perspective as well. Let's say
Okay.
continuous development, continuous integration is there. So what would happen in this? There are tools like Jenkins that are open source tools
Yeah,
available in the market. So you can tell
yeah.
that whenever the build is created, so a machine would be
Okay.
created on fly and the setup
Okay.
that is just created by the developers with their recent code check-ins
Yeah,
would be installed
yeah.
on that machine. And then your automation suite will run with the help of a batch file, and then the entire automation result will come to you in an email. Okay, because you have created so much of automation framework like Selenium, you're telling you're using TestNG, you have got entire
Yeah.
dependency on that automation. Now let's say if build is getting
Yes.
created at late night 11:30 p.m. So in 2021 you
Okay.
cannot expect to wait at in the company at 11:30 p.m. You can create a pipeline
Yeah.
using Jenkins tool, and you can trigger your automation whenever the build is getting created. Let it be one day.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's say if the build is created once in a whole day, or if it is created 10 times in the whole day, you don't have to worry about whether
Okay.
your automation will run or not. Okay. So you can
Okay.
explain about these things, CI/CD pipelines, Jenkins, and all those things. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now what?
Actually, I know about the. Actually, I will means I'm just about to tell about the Jenkins, but
Okay.
before that, recently, actually, I'm not using the Jenkins, but I know the how they works, how the structure is. So
Okay.
yeah, that's it.
Okay. So even if let's say you are not using it, but if you are telling like this automation triggered is like run as test suite and all those things, so it might not give a
Yeah.
a good impression on the interviewer, because as per the
Okay.
latest market trends in many of the organizations, they have owned their DevOps team who is collaborating with the testers and developers, and they are setting up these
Okay.
pipelines like this. Okay. So
Yes.
if you can integrate the whole answer, it will give a good impression on the interviewer. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So
Okay.
let's move to the next question. What is parameterization in TestNG? How will you do it?
Okay. Parameterization concept comes when we have to provide like credentials when having suppose my website having like login id or password.
Mhm.
So for the security reason, we don't want to execute or that credential to like others. So with the help of at the parameterization concept, we give them from the like file like a .config file. We store there the username, password, whatever the credential is there, and with the help of add the parameterization concept or using that parameter, we send directly to our script, and then it will execute. That's
Right. So
yeah,
parameterization is nothing but it is a feature with the help of which you will be passing different values, and you can run the
yeah,
same test over and over again with different parameters with
yeah,
different test data, and you can actually
yeah,
test the same application, or let's say text box is there, or any functionality is there with the help of
yeah.
different parameters. So that's a good answer. Okay. Now, how many ways are there by which we can actually pass these parameter values uh, to the test methods?
How many ways?
Yeah, like let's say one of the way can be, for example, using testng.xml file. Okay. Is there any other way or any other method by which we can pass parameter values to the test methods?
Yeah, we can pass. We can use as a using the Java concept over loading. Yeah, so using that concept, if the we can make one method in the base class, and in that method we can use using the method we use like variable username and password, and we can define this username and password in our .config file, so that if we trigger or we can run the file automatically, that username password goes to that method, and method will automatically execute, and we can pass the parameter to the respective script.
Correct. Okay. Have you heard about data providers?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Right. So that is also
Yeah.
one of the method by which you can pass the values to the parameters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's say there
Sir,
are two.
one question is that, so what
Yes.
is
Yes.
the uh, like if we have to use the data provider, so what is the syntax? So may I know, like, add the data provider, is
Yeah.
that like?
Okay. So the syntax of data provider, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
that's
that's a
why I
good
want.
question. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I was about to cover it, but let's keep this as an open question for the viewers who are watching this video. Okay. So the question is, what is the syntax of data providers, or how will be the code snippet of using data providers? Okay. So please comment down your answers below this video, and we will be reverting back with the correct answer in next 24 hours. Okay. So let us leave it to the audience. So it's good if they can also interact into this, video, and they
yes,
can
yes,
also come up. This is like
yes.
knowledge sharing. Okay. Now, can you tell me the main components of keyword-driven framework in Selenium?
Keyword driven framework.
Yes, keyword-driven.
Actually, I know about the like high level. Like, if I
No
really
problem. You can give
actually
it
I
a try.
don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, I not implemented in my project, but
Okay.
I know, like on high level, like in keyword framework, we mentioned like keyword in our like Excel sheet or .csv file, and with the help of that keyword, we can access the respective data from the Excel sheet only.
Right.
Yes.
So the main components over here are like the framework will be created based on the keywords. So you'll be
Yeah.
having one Excel sheet, one object
Yeah.
repository will be there, one function
Yeah.
library would be there. Then
Yes.
apart from that, the test data sheet, the test script, and the driver scripts would be there. So these are the
Yes.
main six components of keyword-driven framework. Let's say when you are implementing these framework. So these are the six basic components for keyword-driven framework. Okay.
Yes.
Now consider in TestNG you are having two tests. Okay. One test is having priority equal to 1, and one test is having priority equal to 2. So which test case will get executed first?
Yeah. So actually, when you use the priority concept, then it will start executing from the 0 to onwards. If we suppose give from 0 to 1 to 3,
Mhm.
then the script test case which we assign the 0 priority will execute first, and accordingly 1, 2, 3 that all test cases executed according. So
Mhm.
if we talk about the first and second, then obviously test when the test case 1 which is will execute first time, and after that test case 2, that is if we given the priority to that test case will execute after that. That's
Absolutely, that's a right answer. Okay. What is inheritance?
yeah. Inheritance is a property, we can say the concept we use in Java. So with the help of inheritance, we inherit or we use the property from the parent class to the child class.
Mhm.
Basically, in our framework, we use this concept as reusability. So if we don't want to repeat same method or same steps or code from the parent child, so we inherit that to the child class. Like we use the extend word keyword like extend,
Mhm.
and with the help of that extend keyword, we use the property of parent child to the class like child parent to child class. That's
Right. So
uh,
child class will acquire all the properties of the parent class.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So this is good. Okay. Uh, okay. What is method overloading in Java?
Overloading.
Mhm.
Okay. Uh, if we compare the overriding and overloading, then overloading can have the multiple parameter.
Mhm.
Like main method, if having a two parameter, then in overriding there should be two parameter. But in overriding there should be two parameter. But it overloading maybe parameter changes. Like if main method having two parameter due to depend upon our requirement, maybe there may be two three parameters will be there. But in overriding, if we use two parameter, then in like same method we should use that only two parameter. So I think
Right.
we can say this.
Absolutely. So when a class has more than one method, right, having the same name but different parameters, it is called
Yeah.
method overloading. Okay. Now, is it possible to use this and super keyword both in the same constructor?
super keyword. Sorry.
Okay. So the answer is no, it cannot be used. This and super keyword cannot be used in the same constructor. Okay. Now, can you tell me the test scenarios for a login page within a mobile application?
Okay, login page for the mobile application. Okay. First of all, for the when we open the first page, then when we type password, then password should be in a secure, like if we type password, then it should be in dot format. Password should not be visible to the when we entering the password. And we, if this is the first scenario, after that we can check if we type password and the password is wrong, and if we click on submit button, then the alert message will be pop-up will be displayed, and user should come to know that you are entering wrong password. Yeah. So after that, uh, uh, the field username password, after that the one checkbox should be there. If user unable to like log in or unable to like reminder that his password or his her password, then forget password, that one facility should be there, so that with the help of that facility user recreate or renew the password of that. After that, we can say only a digit, only letter should be allowed it in the username. If the user type any digit 1 2 3 4 5, then user the pop-up alert should be displayed, and user came to know that you have to enter valid username, or like you have to enter only username in the letter format. So
Mhm.
yeah, these are the 3 4 scenarios I can say that.
Right. So if it's a mobile application, yes, you are telling something.
Yeah. Yeah. No, sir. You can continue.
So if you're telling about test scenarios of a mobile application, then what you
Yeah.
can add is you can add the compatibility test cases like first
Yeah.
is
Responsiveness. Yeah.
yeah
Yes.
Android,
Yeah.
then you can test in iOS, then in Android also you'll test in various versions, various flavors, and accordingly
Yes.
you can add. Then then forgot password is one of the scenario. Change password is also one of the scenario that you can add.
Yes.
Then you can test whether in the mobile, if the charging is less, whether you are able to see all the fields properly. If you increase the brightness, if you decrease the brightness, so you can
Yes. Yes.
test on that basis. Okay, so you can
Also, sir, we can check like when mobile is on like like portrait mode or like landscape mode.
perfect.
Then
Yeah,
yeah,
that can
yeah,
also be one of the test scenario. Perfect. Yeah. So portrait mode and landscape mode is one of the thing. Then let's say if someone is calling you on your mobile and you are trying to log in, so what is happening at that time?
yeah,
Or let's say if internet is not there and you are trying to log in, so is it giving you a user friendly message at that time? Or if some update comes up and then you are using that screen, so what
yes,
comes up first? So what mobile takes up as a priority, whether it is considering your inputs as a priority or that update, or user is forced to
yeah,
update like that. So you can
yes,
tell those test cases. Okay, what is meant by invocation count in TestNG?
yeah. Invocation count, the parameter or the concept we use when in the test suite, if particular test case we have to execute repeatedly. Means, suppose in the test case there are 15 scenario and 15 test cases, and one test cases is like login or like adding the username for the particular application, and the user that test case we have to execute 3 to 4 times, like 4 times. So with the help of like invocation count, we run the test cases like multiple 3 times, 4 times, whatever we count given in that like parameter. So it uses basically for the repetition one test case for the multiple time.
Perfect. Yeah. Now, how can we disable a particular test in TestNG?
Discriminate.
Disable a particular test in TestNG.
There is a one like parameter we can say like at the TestNG enabled is there. If enabled we set as a true, then it will execute. If we set as a false, then it will not execute.
Mhm. Right, right. Okay. Now, have you heard about extent reports in Selenium?
Extend report. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Can you tell me what are extent reports?
With the help of extend report, we can customize our report. I
Mhm.
think so. Like in what format, like coloring and what details that should be included in report. Like if the report test cases is passed, then the green color we can like give to the particular test cases, and if a test case failed, then red color we can give to the particular test case. So in this way, we can manage the reports with the help of our require. That can be used in extended. I
Right.
think.
So with extent report, you can actually offer a more extensive and insightful perspective on the
Yes.
execution of your automation scripts, I would say. Okay.
Yes.
So these features and these colors are there. So that would
Yes.
add a value whenever, let's say, stakeholders or a person from management is looking at your automation framework report. So they'll
Yes.
get more insights, more details to the reports.
Okay.
Now, what are the advantages of these extent reports?
Yeah. With the help of this report, as you said earlier, we can analyze the whole test suite, and we can know the information in very short, like very short duration. Like to like observing this report, we can analyze like which test case pass, fail, and also we can attach this screenshot to the that extent report. So with the help of screenshot, we got to know in very less time instead of going to particular test script and seeing the log and that all things. We with the help of this action report we can know how we can analyze the like test suite observation below in very like less time. So we got to save time.
Right. And one more advantage is it can be easily integrated with the frameworks like JUnit is there, NUnit is there,
Yeah.
and TestNG is there. Okay. And it also displays the time taken for the test case execution. The screenshot addition is also one of the good thing. I think you mentioned that thing. Okay.
Yeah.
And the extent reports are more customizable than others. So those are few of the things for extent reports. Okay. Now, can you tell me prerequisites to have on the machine, or let's say if you want to generate an extent report? So what are the prerequisites for same?
It means like uh, as concern of, for the machine like
Mhm. Machine, or let's say in your framework, you want to integrate this extent report. So what all prerequisites should be there?
sorry, I don't know about it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me answer. So first of all is Java should be installed. That is the first and the foremost thing. Then second is TestNG should be installed. Then this extent reports jars are there. Those should be downloaded, and those should be available on your machine in which you are creating this framework. Then extend-config.xml is there, one of the file. It allows you to configure the HTML report. That is
Oh,
also one of the prerequisite to have this extend report.
oh,
Okay. Okay, so we are done with Selenium Java questions. Okay. Now, what is the difference between severity and priority?
yeah. Uh, with the help of severity, we give with like if we found a bug, then impact of that bug on the our functionality we can say, and priority is based on like how fast or how soon we can fix that bug. We have to fix that bug, so we can decide the priority as like. how fast or how soon we can like save, like fix that one. So in this way we can use severity and priority.
So can you give me an example of low
Hello,
severity?
sir,
Yeah,
you are not audible.
yeah. Now is it audible?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, now am I audible?
Now I can, now I can.
Okay. So can you give me an example of low severity and high priority defect?
Okay. Suppose one website is there for the company,
Mhm,
and on that website, like every company has its own logo, and there is a logo, but there is a one like design defect in that logo. Like design, the logo is not expected as we should that display in a website. Some is defect or some is defect in design pattern. So if I think uh, like mismatching or unexpected designing is not affecting on the functionality in the website, like is not directly impact on the any functionality or critical functionality in the website, so I can give less severity to the that logo. And but if as we think like on client perspective, then it seems not a good, like it's not a good gesture. So we can fix as early as possible, so we can give as a high priority. So at the end we can give a less severity and high priority for that.
right. So the severity will be low and the priority will be high if the logo is not proper. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, which are the different testing techniques that you will use to write test cases?
Testing techniques means like testing types. You
Yeah, testing techniques means boundary value analysis, equivalence
Yeah,
partitioning.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, we can actually we can use both as per our requirement.
mhm,
Like yeah, so like equivalence partitioning when used when we have huge input data, and we have to like fetch that input data to our application like software. So we divided to data to equally both part. So if when the like whole process is done, so we can easy to analyze that for the one part how the behavior of the software, and for the other part how the behavior, whether it the software will get expected output from that. So basically that equivalence partitioning we can easily understand, like for the what input we should what we will get output. And so this is for the equivalent partitioning. And for the boundary analysis value, suppose we have some like one tax creating application. For that, we have to check like correctly for the boundary value analysis. For example, we have the employee has get tax after 10,000 rupees, like 11,000, 12,000.
right.
Then in boundary value analysis, we have to check like from 9,000, 10,000, 11,000. So we observe these like boundary values correctly, and based on that we can like analyze like whatever the expectation output we are getting or not. So at that time we can use boundary value analysis.
Yeah. So that is fine. So testing techniques we will be using to write the test cases, and it depends on the condition to condition. At sometimes we might use boundary value analysis.
Yeah.
Sometimes we might go for equivalence partitioning. Then cyclomatic complexity is available. Decision table coverage is available. Okay. So these are the various testing techniques. Okay. Now, Abhishek, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions
Yeah.
for me?
Sir, you just said earlier that cyclomatics compatibility for the testing.
Mhm.
So no, I want to know about that, like
Right.
what is.
So cyclomatic complexity is nothing but it is also one of the testing technique. And there is a
Okay.
video that is already available on my channel to explain in which I have
Okay.
explained that thing.
Okay.
So I'll add that link also in the description of this video itself.
Okay. Okay.
Any other doubts that you have?
No, just I want to know my feedback. Like,
Yeah. Okay, so Selenium is good, automation is good. It would be good if you try to, practice on Jenkins CI/CD level, okay, and learn those DevOps tools like Dockers is there. Okay, and then if even if you just get a clarity of how the things will be moving when CI/CD would be integrated with your automation framework. So it will be very much helpful. You will be able to get a higher picture of how the things are getting established today in the market. Okay, so that is one thing. In the test scenarios also, you can add various scenarios from the performance testing side, from negative testing side, from positive testing. I think you gave me the answers. Then you can also add the testing front from the security testing point of view. So all those things you can include while giving the test scenarios. Okay, whenever you get these test scenarios for mobile application, login page, e-commerce website, or any other objects like water bottle is there and all those things. So please
Okay.
try to incorporate all the test scenarios from all the levels of testing.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Abhishek. It was nice having you on the channel. And yeah, please do subscribe our channel, and please
Yeah.
do share it in with your network and with your friends. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so much.